Since the lockdown in March 2020, after which we were allowed to travel for work, at least in the country, I got back to seeing patients again as before. And as I was telling you on the phone, Ayurveda is a subjective science. It is centered on the person and not on the malady. And so I'm used to seeing subjective symptomatology, so to speak. So what was different in 2020 for me was a pattern, a common pattern in all the people, which got me a little confused in the beginning, but then I again, gave it second thought and I contemplated on it. And what came to me is the following, after having done some research as well. So our planet has been receiving light waves from the sun of a slightly different frequency in the past 20, 30, 40 years or so, at small dosages, right? And bear with me, because what I'm talking about is related to the concept of macrocosm and microcosm. So the relationship between an individual and his or her surroundings. So this planet has been receiving light waves of a higher frequency, of a less denser frequency, in small doses over a period of time. Every year, for a certain planetary presentation, now don't ask me the details because I honestly don't know how to explain the technicalities related to this. An astrologer would be able to explain this last bit better. But basically every December is quite a peculiar month to receive a certain energy of a different sort from the sun, and 2020 was markedly different. But before December, which is the last month of the year itself, the year went through major change energetically. So going beyond the who's and the why's and the what's of the situation that happened in 2020, on a deeper level, the energy changed. There are two fundamental aspects in our existence on this physical plane. One is energy, one is matter. Matter has its energetical roots in energy, and the way the energy is, it's only a matter of time that it will sediment into matter to express itself through matter, right? So this is the structure, so to speak, of the relationship between energy and matter. From when the energy or its vibration changes, it's only a matter of time that it will manifest in matter. And between one and the other, between the change of the energetical state or vibration and its manifestation in matter, there is a time gap. In that time gap, what happens? What happens is the energy is slowly working its way into matter, and matter is even more slowly and in a difficult manner giving way to that new energy. Right? So this is what is happening, is what came to me intuitively as to what is happening. And this I can only attribute to the vision that this ancient medical science has conferred upon me through experience with patients. So actually I must be thanking the patients for this vision. Anyway, so 2020, as I was saying, represents a quantum leap, so to speak, in this new energy. If we want to talk in yogic terms, I would be calling this energy a sattvic energy, sattva, right? So once the energy has changed, the way I see it, 2021 represents the beginning of a few years where the other aspect of our existence, that is the physical aspect, matter, is going to start giving way to this new energy. It can give way in two ways. One, it either makes the old model collapse to give way to the new, or it changes itself from the inside. So you apply this thinking to society, because society on the outside represents what we experience on a physical plane, right? On a physical plane. So society is composed of what? Various systems. The educational system, the political system, the financial system, the system related to health, etc., 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 the medical system. So these systems, either they have to fall apart to give way to something new, if not wholly, at least partially, or they will change from the inside, right? So this is what is happening on the outside. Now the same dynamic between energy and matter we see within each and every individual who is a cell of this planet. So if you look at the planet as an organism, each individual, each living being represents a cell, right? So we are a cohesive reality. We are not separate one from the other. This brings us to other explanations as to the mass psychosis we are going through. That's another issue. But I'm trying to shed light on a very fundamental reality that's happening between each and every one of us, which I saw through my patients, and thanks to my patients, as I was telling you. Since when this energy has changed, it is more sattvic, right? It is sattva. Sattva is what? Sattva is nothing else but light. Sattva is nothing else but love. Nothing else but expansion. Right? So this energy is necessary to make matter vibrate on a newer level, to make matter vibrate on a higher level, right? And when this happens within each of us, everything that is of impediment to that will be exposed. Exposed to whom? Exposed to consciousness within that organism. And so consciousness that is identified with that organism goes through the suffering of that identification. For example, fears, anxiety, and various emotions and states of being which cause us to lose stability, spiritually speaking, which cause us to worry, which cause us to live in fear, which cause us to give way to everything that is non-sattvic. And everything that is non-sattvic is rajasic and or tamasic. So we are talking about lower frequency energies. So the best thing that a person can do, keeping this in mind, that from 2021 onwards, for the next few years, we are going to be seeing a lot of changes on a physical level. And when I say physical level, on the outside, I mean in society, in nature, a lot of changes, which will be or will push forward in relation with changes within each of us as well. So the best thing for us to do is to try to be objective with regards to our emotions, with regards to any suffering we may have. And it is impossible to expect that from us if we haven't practiced it in situations where we are not suffering. In other words, we can't expect to be objective while we are going through a bad wave, bad emotional wave, or suffering, etc. But we can practice that objectivity through what? Through conscious practice of mindfulness, for example, or through doing activities which increase sattva in our daily life. So by doing that, automatically we will be sustained by sattva. We will be reinforced. We will be given the strength to remain objective and detached and be observers of what happens. So I think this could be of help to people who are going through a hard time, who are suffering, to know that everything that is coming to the surface within you is coming at a very, very, very accelerated pace. Also because from the moment we are talking about the whole planet that is going through a transformation and at a very fast pace, automatically we are also affected by this. And so there is nothing wrong if you're feeling the way you are feeling. Just realize that everything that comes to the surface has to be let go. And what do we mean by this? It has to be respected from the moment it surfaces within you, not suffocated. It has to be respected and given space, right? Given space, but I decide to bring my attention to my breath, or I decide to bring my attention to something else, right? Because if I were to continue out of habit to identify with that suffering, I will give it more weight and it will fall back into my subconscious. And the moment there is a situation on the outside which is ripe for the same emotion to surface again, it will. But if I in time learn how to detach and not identify with that, what happens? It will slowly dissipate. And by slowly I mean through maybe multiple times it resurfaces. In time it won't anymore. If you think about it, this is the only way. This is the only way forward. Because the more we cling to the lower energies, which by the way on a global scale are being destroyed, the more we risk remaining entrapped. I hope this sharing of mine can be of help to whoever listens to it. So feel free to share it with anyone and everyone. Thank you for giving me the chance to talk about this, because up until now I've been talking about it physically only to the patients, but who knows, maybe through this we can help many more people understand that what is surfacing in them is not what they are. What is surfacing in them is surfacing to be able to just let go and not come back again in time. Again, thank you.